Hey, welcome to Newport Beach, California. I'm over here and I'm going to go try to find my friend Daniel Hadaway because he is up here on the Island Spirit over there at South Coast Shipyard. And in fact, doesn't that kind of look like the Island Spirit right there? We're getting close. We got a great show for you. Stay tuned, my friends. Daniel, good to see you, man.
Good to see you, Phil.
Thanks for inviting me down here, Newport Beach, California.
Thank you for visiting us.
What a gorgeous day.
Great to see you. Yeah, it's beautiful weather down here. This is a very neat little boatyard, and we have some mandatory work that we have to do, and it's just time to bang it out and get back home as soon as we can.
Yeah, you're doing a lot of work too, man. I see a ton of guys down below working on the boat, and you're working up here like crazy.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people think, wintertime comes along and gosh, the captains and the crew, they get a break, man. All they do is sit in front of the TV with the clicker, and it's far from that, right?
I wish. It's probably the hardest work we have all year.
Really?
Yeah, especially when we're in the yard and we have, limited time. It's very expensive to be out of the water, so we try to get as much done as we can. We probably have, I think I counted 6 or 7 guys working on the boat right now.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
So, got a few projects to finish and hope it all goes well.
And part of it, too, is that I'm sure you like spiffing the boat up and making it look good for the coming season, but you love fishing. So not only is it hard work, but you're away from what you really love.
Yeah, absolutely. Nobody loves sanding and painting and fixing things, but we all love fishing. So it's something you got to do to be able to take people fishing on a nice, good-looking boat.
Yeah, 100%. What's the name of this boatyard? It's South
Coast Shipyard.
South Coast Shipyard. It's kind of a small, kind of nice little shipyard, actually. It feels, I don't know, guys were really nice when I walked up, and everybody was down there hoping I'd fall off that ladder so they get a good TikTok video.
No, everybody's really friendly here. It's a good group of guys that are working here, and I'm happy with it.
The other thing is, you're commuting every single day, man. That's a pretty good drive. What do you spend, about 3 hours in the car every day?
If I leave around like 5:30 in the morning, it only takes me about an hour to drive here from the valley, but going home's not so nice. Yeah.
I
try to just come early and leave early so I miss as much of that traffic as possible.
Yeah, so, gotcha.
Start at 7 or before and try to leave at like 3:30 or so.
All right, so the purpose of this podcast is to see you, my friend. That's number one, and we've accomplished that.
Yep.
You commiserated with me and told me that you were sorry about Notre Dame. I appreciate that.
Yep.
Don't make me break into tears on this podcast. And then the real reason is we want to look ahead a little bit. You get all your maintenance done. What are we going to do? When are we going to start? How's the coming season look? So let me start out with what more or less is your return date for getting back in action?
Yeah, we should be out of here sometime next week, I'd imagine. Hopefully early in the week, middle of the week maybe. But we'll be back in Ventura before too long, and once we get back to our harbor, we're going to start putting up open party trips online. And we are going to run that special again we did last year, where anything you book before the beginning of April, you can book all trips for 20% off.
Oh, shoot.
So we're going to do a early
such a
booking
good
special.
Deal.
So if you have a day you want to go fishing in June, July, August, October, whatever, you can buy your tickets when our schedule comes up.
20%
off if you book before April 1st. So.
You got to do that, man, right?
Schedule's not up yet, but we'll obviously make a post and notify all you guys when we have trips up online, and we're excited.
Sounds like you'll be back fishing in February. Rockfish season is closed until April, but there's halibut, there's bass, there's whitefish.
Absolutely.
And then sheephead, I think, in March.
Yeah,
right?
in March you can start keeping sheephead as well. So February we can go catch whitefish, halibut, sand bass, hopefully sand dabs even. March you're able to catch sheephead too, so we're going to spend more time doing like that whitefish, sheephead combo stuff and some halibut drifts as well. And then obviously when April comes around, we're going to be able to fish for whatever we want again.
I've been talking to a lot of private boaters up there in your area, and they've had some really good wintertime success on the halibut. That looks like it's going to be a thing this coming year.
I think so, yeah. I can't wait to, get all done with this and get back in the water and, try to do a couple of those trips. Go catch some halibut, whitefish, all that good stuff. We had fun with that early in the year last year, so.
Yeah, man, I remember that one trip where a kid, I heard a commotion down on deck. I don't know if I was in the wheelhouse or what, but by the time I got there, I was there just on time when you were poking, what was that, a 25-pound fish? Something like that?
Yeah.
A big halibut, biggest fish this kid, and I got that smile on video. For me now, not catching a fish, that's not what I'm after. I'm after that kid, showing that to his kids someday.
Yeah.
And that was a spectacular catch, man. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome. That kid and his dad lucked out. They came back again a month later, and his dad caught a yellowtail.
No way.
Like a big one that we fought back from a sea lion. So that father-son combo did pretty well this year with us.
That is awesome. What is the limit on whitefish? 10, right?
Yeah, you can keep 10 whitefish. There's no size limit on them, but early in the year last year, we had like really, really amazing quality on that local whitefish.
Yeah.
It almost looked like they're swimming around at Santa Rosa,
Yeah,
so,
right.
Yeah, no size limit or anything, but you can keep 10 whitefish, and then when March comes around, you can keep 2 sheephead.
So that's right around the corner. We're going to be doing that really, really soon.
Absolutely.
I make a big deal out of the fact that we have had so much squid in the environment this past year and now into 2025. Am I justified in making a big deal about that? Is that what is going to bring predators in?
It's it's a really good sign for sea bass fishing, stuff like that. It looks like we're kind of in a cold water cycle. Like last year it was cold, the water was cold like kind of late into the season. This year seems like it's the same thing. Water's really cold right now. There's a lot of squid around. We still see the seiners coming into the harbor all the time in Ventura, all loaded up. That definitely bodes well for sea bass fishing this year.
Yeah, I think so. I think halibut, sea bass, and rockfish flourish more and proliferate more in the colder water also.
Yeah, absolutely. We I think almost every single trip in December we had people catching live squids on their bare hooks, or just snagging live squids when we're rock fishing out there in 400 or 500 feet. So there's tons of squid around, and it's been there for a while, and hopefully it stays.
People always want to have warm water. They're always like, I hope there's an El Nino. I hope there's warm water. But if you look up in the Bering Sea in Alaska, where the water is frigid, that's where all the life is, in that colder water sometimes.
Yeah. There's obviously pros and cons to both cold and warm water, but there's a sweet spot as well. And when the water gets too warm, there's no squid around. They don't really like the warm water. The sea bass don't really bite much, and same thing with that halibut. So there is definitely advantages to having cold water.
Yeah, 100%. Something we take for granted, Daniel, is nature, seeing a whale, seeing all of these beautiful experiences that you and I, and probably me more than you, only because I'm older than you. Yeah. Sometimes, oh, cool, there's a whale, instead of, whoa, check that out, which is really the appropriate response. And for people who are on land most of the time, they would really love to see that. I understand you might give that a try, a couple whale watch trips.
Yeah, absolutely. We're thinking about it. Once we get back in the water, we'll put up fishing trips and see how those fill up. And if it's not working out, maybe we'll do some whale watching instead.
Excellent. Yeah. All right, let's jump ahead to April. The Rockfish opener. We'll be able to fish rockfish again.
Absolutely.
What a great year it was. We went out into the deep water with you a couple of times. Not only, speaking of nature, we were treated to a great show.
We had orcas on our last trip.
Was that cool or what?
That was really cool.
That was bitchin', man.
It was a really big one, too. There was one giant one in there.
I don't know if I ever told you. Did I tell you that? Yeah, I kind of did. That biologist got a hold of.
Yeah.
And she was like, she told me the names of each and every one of those killer whales. Yeah, of those orcas. She knew the names, the history, how big they were, everything. It was really great. Elisa Schulman-Janiger is the scientist's name.
Very nice.
I've worked with her in the past a lot. She was just excited to see that. So we got out there. Man, the quality of the rockfish, fantastic. It was great. And then on your local trips, a little bit closer to home, great fishing, great quality. April 1st, that starts again.
Absolutely. And there's no weird depth regulations at the beginning of the year. You can fish as shallow as you want, as deep as you want. You can catch rockfish and whitefish and, whatever else in any order. You don't have to, catch whitefish first, and that kind of weird rule doesn't start till the end of the season, or September rather, or October. But yeah, the regulations are a lot more simple and easy to abide by earlier in the season. We can pretty much do whatever we want, which is neat.
Yeah. When do you know the dates when that all changes, or should we leave that for another time? It's
I want to say it's in July. It changes from you can't fish over 300 feet. Everything has to be under 300.
Yeah.
And then once October rolls around, I want to say October 1st. You have to fish deeper than 300 feet. You can't fish shallower than 300 feet for rockfish. And as soon as you have a rockfish on the boat, you can no longer do any kind of fishing under 300 feet.
Yeah.
So it's weird, but it's how it's going to be again this year.
Yeah, that's fine. And one more memory for us at Freeman Adventures on the Island Spirit was that lingcod.
Oh, yeah.
That magnificent ling, biggest one you've ever seen.
Absolutely.
That was a huge fish. What was that again? How big?
39.
39, almost 40 pounds.
Yeah, it was a monster.
When I saw you dragging that thing down the deck, man, again, I was right there with the camera, thank God. God looks after me on these things, man.
You stay ready, though. You stay ready. You're always ready to go.
Well,
nice.
That's one of the reasons a lot of people say, man, why don't you fish? And the reason is, while I'm winding in a 2-pound Johnny bass.
How else are we going to get all this great footage?
But what a memory that was, that guy up in the bow. He was a cool guy.
Yeah, Terry. Good guy.
And that giant ling. So those kind of catches, man, while they're not every single trip, it certainly is within the realm of possibility to make a catch on a big fish like that.
Yeah, absolutely. We always try our best to send everybody home with some fish and then give everybody a chance at a, really neat fish of a lifetime kind of deal as well. So, especially early in the season, we like to fill you guys up on whatever rockfish, whitefish, and then, go into the shallows at the end of the day and give everyone a chance at a game fish too. So, looking forward to getting back to those kind of combo trips where we have the ability to, catch a little bit of game fish after we are done rock fishing, instead of just having to go home because it's not legal to do anything else,
Yeah.
So, really excited for the season to start again.
Yeah, me too. And once again, everybody, 20% off until what date? When does that shut down?
The end of March. So, the last day that promo is going to be up is the final day of March. So, anytime between when the schedule goes up to the end of March, it's going to be 20% off any trips you'd like to book early in the season.
You're crazy if you don't do it. And we here at Freeman Adventures are looking forward to doing more sponsored trips.
Absolutely, yeah. We'll
did some of those. They were really popular.
Yeah. Absolutely.
A lot of fun. I get to get out and meet a bunch of guys that are watching our stuff all the time, and that's a lot of fun also. Looking ahead of the rockfish season, I'm asking to guess, or I'm asking, based on what you know, what you've seen, what kind of season do you think we're looking at? Do you think, you mentioned the cold water, so possibility of good halibut and sea bass?
Yeah.
You think that's
I think it's possible we'll get some, better. I mean, last year is as good as it gets for halibut, all together. But hopefully we get more of that kind of fishing, get a shot at some sea bass earlier in the year. And then, rock fishing is always great when the water's cold. Plenty of whitefish around. Hopefully that water starts to change in the summer and we get to do that barracuda and bass stuff that we enjoy fishing for. And I hope this season is as good as last season was. So,
dude, I mean, that's not hyperbole either. I remember Doug Tilk went on the Endeavor, and they had just under 100 halibut, big fish.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
It's crazy. It's very, very rare that you'll ever see trips like that, and I think it happened like 10, 11 years ago, and it seems like the last couple of years that halibut resurgence it's a real thing. So hopefully that it keeps up.
Yeah, I used to say, why do they have the limit at 5? Nobody ever catches 5 fish anymore, and now it's a good thing they have the limit at 5 because you could actually go over that.
Yeah, there's a couple trips on the Endeavor that I gotta run this year where a couple people got a limit of halibut too. It's crazy. Anytime it's a big accomplishment if you can catch 5 legal or in this case, like really big California halibut in one day, it's a trip of a lifetime.
And shout out to Eddie Berrigan. I know you know Eddie, and
absolutely.
Bella, who is our hat t-shirt model, and does such a great job. But they were on that trip with Doug.
Yep.
And I know they had a ton of flatfish
It was
also.
Eddie's charter, I believe.
Yes, correct.
They killed it.
Really great stuff. And then, do you do anything with, I mean, the barracuda bite? That's going to be a springtime thing maybe, and yellowtail. That's a little bit further ahead, but that's also possible, right?
Absolutely.
If a guy's thinking, I'd like to save my 20%, I love catching barracuda, well, what month would you suggest would be a good month?
Probably July, towards the middle end of July, it seems like was the best time this past season. But we're going to be trying for it all the time. We're not just going to go rock fishing and go home. We're going to, give you guys a chance at several different types of fishing. We're going to, if the weather's nice, maybe we'll go deep. If it's not, there's plenty of places we can hide and fish in the shallow water for like a mix of rockfish, whitefish, sheephead, lingcod, stuff like that. And, try for halibut, bass, barracuda. We just plan on trying to keep a good variety in our counts.
Excellent. Yeah. I'm guessing for the 20% discount, you call the landing?
Absolutely, yeah. There's going to be a code that comes out. We'll make a post with all that information once we get our schedule up, but there will be a discount code that you could use online, or you can obviously call the landing, and Sal or somebody else is going to be able to help you out.
805-676-3474. Perfect. What a team we make, man. Right. I'm telling you. Anything else before... Would you like to give us a little tour of what kind of work you're doing on the boat for a second here, or not? It's up to you.
I mean, it's not. We'll put a little bit of footage up, but it's nothing crazy.
So what are you doing? We don't have to go out and see, or do you want to go out?
We're just sanding the bulwarks. Today. There's some spots that needed to be filled, so I filled them all. And once we're done, I'm gonna sand the filler and clean it up, slap some primer on, and sometime soon we're gonna paint the bulwarks inside. Then most of the other work is being done by the yard. They're painting the bottom of the boat, just cleaning up the bottom. Our props are getting cleaned up, serviced, and not a whole lot else. We had a successful Coast Guard inspection yesterday. It went very well.
Oh, great.
Just a couple little minor fixes that the yard's working on, and the boat's going to be good as ever. I
know. Well, not only are you doing a lot of work, but you just mentioned there's like 6-7 guys down below when I walked up, really nice guys doing a lot of work also.
I think they're on their lunch break right now, but they're going to come back and hopefully keep working through the end of the day.
Well, they knew we were going to shoot a podcast, man. They're giving us a little break here.
Yeah. But they've been doing great, and they have a little paint project too. We're painting part of the outside of the boat as well, so I know they're prepping that and working on that today too.
And what the plan is, you're going to be here, a week and a half?
Hopefully, yeah. Just about another week would be nice, maybe less.
So how about I come back when you're all done and we take a look at the finished product?
Sounds good.
Yeah, perfect. So VenturaSportfishing.com, 805-676-3474 to get a hold of the landing, 20% off. Can people call right away before they have the code and start figuring that out, or should they hold off a little bit?
I'd hold off till you look online and see a trip you like. We don't currently have the schedule up, just because we need to make sure we get back in the water, finish painting some stuff. There's going to be maybe 2 weeks or so till that schedule comes back up. But as soon as you see the schedule online, feel free to book online or call. And it is the off season right now. The landing kind of has weird hours. But you can leave a message with your information and what kind of trip you'd like to book, and as soon as somebody's there, they'll always call you back and arrange whatever you need.
All right. Hey, I had no idea I was going to be able to spend some time with you in the off season, but it's always a pleasure, Daniel.
Always, Phil. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I think we need to go get some lunch now.
Let's do it. I'm ready.